Camp. Oh.
Wow. In one sentence, that's going to be really hard.
One sentence or less. Oh my gosh.
I can't do it without it being a run on, I feel like. My name is Josh Kickline, and I am the camp director for the Northeast District. Camp happens at the end of June each year. We meet at Tuscarora Inn and Conference Center, and it's a beautiful location. I mean, they have the in-ground pool, the outdoor sand volleyball courts, a fresh gym, all kinds of awesome things on campus. And it's a 5-day camp. We usually meet on a Sunday afternoon, and we go through until Thursday morning.
I barely survived. I've never been so tired in all my life. What an experience. The amount of stuff that the group that plans it packs into a couple days is incredible.
Everything was great. The rallies, the silent dance party.
Truly just a space where God gathers among his people, and he's so present tangibly.
Camp is probably the most meaningful and God-centered place on earth. It's like heaven on earth.
So yeah, my story gets its beginning at youth camp when I was 11 years old, and it was at that camp through a speaker one evening that God opened up my heart and Jesus found me. And so my story starts at camp.
When I think about spiritual growth and just foundation, I remember it began at youth camp, even as a teen. My husband, who didn't grow up in the church, you know, there are times when we get together and we're like, remember what we did at youth camp, remember this? And I felt like a lot of my core values and memories is youth camp.
All right, so I've been coming to camp for about 20 years. My experience at camp has been excellent. I met my wife at camp. I built friendships that have lasted for a lifetime from camp. The most important people in my life pretty much went to youth camp and are part of that.
When I was in 6th grade, the very first year I could go to youth camp, I went because my best friend was going, and that was the first time that I feel like I felt the Holy Spirit. That was the first time I had seen people my age worshiping God the way that I had watched my parents do it and the adults in my life, but I had never seen teens doing it. Some point towards the end of the week, I don't remember who was preaching, but one of the youth pastors was preaching on calling and just talking about, you know, like what it looks like to do ministry as a job and as a vocation. And so at the end of the sermon, they asked for anybody who felt called into ministry to come up to the front so that they could be prayed over. And I just started sobbing because I felt so strongly that that was what God was telling me to do. Yeah, that's what led me to where I am now, being a children's pastor, which is not what I thought I would be doing. God asked me to do this in this church, and it has been an incredible blessing. It's been so much better than I could have imagined, and I love the kids a lot.
So traditionally, camp has had a little bit of a higher price tag when it comes to what you would consider like a church event, but we know camp is totally worth it. A majority of that cost does go to the conference center. That covers our rooming, our food, all the staffing they do that week, but the additional goes to some of the big awesome activities we do, like the silent dance party and all kinds of other opportunities we provide that week as well. If you're looking to kind of be able to budget that, to plan ahead, afford that, one of the incredible things we've done is we've been able to do fundraising with our students. So whether it's been a bake sale or some kind of donation, we've even asked some of the congregation members if they'd be interested in sponsoring someone to go to youth camp. And we've had some very, very generous people who have given opportunities to even see students go for free.
So I pretty much deal with the registrations for camp. So when you guys come up to camp, when you get there on that first day, when you're so excited, you're gonna come to the registration desk and we're gonna give you your room assignments. We're gonna take your final payment. We're just gonna set up your group with where you need to be. When you guys are getting ready to move into your room at camp, there's a number of different places where you could stay, and they all have different bed types. You could be in a double bed, you could be in a queen bed, you could be in a single bed, like bunk beds. Bring your sleeping bag, bring your pillow, bring your toiletries and things that you need for overnight. So at the dining hall, we normally have a buffet in the morning at breakfast with awesome oatmeal. Make sure you try the oatmeal. Eat your oatmeal. Then at lunch, there's usually a salad bar. There's always good options. Everybody likes the food at Tuscarora. It's good. Like, there's no complaints. The food's great.
I'm from Jersey City First Wesleyan. We sent 17 kids to youth camp. You know, a lot of the kids were obviously from the inner city, so it's noisy, you know, everybody's on top of everybody, crime everywhere. You know, they definitely enjoyed it. It's just kind of, you go from the suffocating feeling of being in an inner city to kind of being at youth camp where you can actually breathe. So I feel like a lot of the kids, like they enjoy that.
I think most kids, when they're in their element, they've learned a particular level of being guarded. And something happens at camps that I've seen this over the last 35 years. Something happens and that guard is let down. And the Holy Spirit then has an opportunity to reach parts of them that are usually a little bit out of reach.
Take advantage of it. You don't have to be the most popular kid in youth group. You don't even have to have friends to go and gather and be present with the God who has called you to be there.
It's beautiful to kind of see them make that transition. Like sometimes some of them it's their first year, it was their first year going to youth camp. So them actually getting to know God, not as just like this person that they hear about in the Bible, but you know, to say that, you know, you could actually have a relationship with him. Like God could be my friend. I can actually talk to him and he can guide me. So it's beautiful to kind of see them make that transition from like, oh yeah, he's like this person in the Bible and is a fictional being, to he's actually here with me.
In that, you get to have fun and there's freedom. There's so much freedom to just be you and be who God created you to be, and go to mandatory optional fun and choose to have fun there and play the sports that you know you're gonna be bad at, because who cares? And really, like, you make it what you want it to be.
All right, so if you're one of those teens that are on the fence and worried about coming to camp or not, like, you guys need to make the decision to be there. This is gonna be the week of your summer. It's gonna be the highlight of your year. You're gonna make relationships and they're gonna be the people that you go to for the rest of your life. God has something in store for you at Northeast District Youth Camp.
God has shown up in incredible ways at camp before, and we know he will continue to do the same, creating change not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. We'd love to see you at camp this summer.